And one of the things that I am really passionate about, in fact, this kind of brings it all together for me. Mautic is a similar application to HubSpot. And I got to collapse a couple of these things, guys, so I can get around. There we go. So
how do you spell HubSpot?
HUBSPOT, one word.
Okay, HubSpot. All right,
HubSpot.
thank you.
And basically what it does is it tracks and places information in a database. So Mautic is free, 100% free. You can do a free HubSpot as well. You put a little snippet like you would do with Google AdWords or Google Analytics on your website, and it tracks anything and everything that happens. But it does more than that. The reason why I really like Mautic is that it goes a lot further than just doing Google Analytics. It will receive. It can run campaigns. We can do automation, and it's just a very strong, for me, a very strong marketing tool with social media. Let me show you what I mean by that. So, in the last month or so, I have not been as active with my marketing as I have been in the past. And you can see that because I was very high here for a while, and you can see it start to tail off. I had a spike here. I think this was during my RFP response time, where a lot of the companies I was doing RFPs to were probably looking at my website. But then I tailed back down to only about 35 visits. But I was as high at one time, pretty averaging right around 83, 65, 70. So this is kind of giving you a graph. I'm still very active in my email campaigns, and I will continue to do that. But let's kind of do a little tour around the world of what Mautic is. So this is a dashboard. One of the things I look at almost every day is the contacts. These contacts are automatically mined. They are put into this Mautic database whenever anybody visits my website. If I capture their email address, or if I have their email address, it can then mine and get more information. So, for example, let's go to someone that I know. Let me try Dan. I come into his contact information. This is what Dan has seen, and he's receiving emails, and occasionally he'll take a look and he'll read the email and go from there. And let me see. I want to find more out about Dan. So if I come over here,
let me understand the process. Just to understand the process, you're sending emails with contents, with some interesting contents, to a large distribution, and these are the people who are, clicking on the URL and get into.
Yes, or actually just reading it. If they just bring up their email and read it, I have that information. Also, if they have other social media content that, so if they're on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or anything like that, it will automatically grab that information. I'm going to try to find that for you. Let me come to me. I don't know if I've got these connected, but I might. Yes. So that automatically connected my Facebook account because it recognizes who I am. And so I can now start to get a little bit more information about these individuals. Very, very powerful. You have to set that up, but it's very good. The other thing is I can toggle it between whether you see it in a format this way or whether you can see it in a tabular. And then the other thing that it does very, very well is that if it can't grab anything, it can give you what's called anonymous, which are IP addresses. And so, for example, this IP address here, this guy took a look at my webpage, Environmental and Risk Management, this morning at 7 a.m. And I use a website, Who Is, and if I take that IP address and pop it in here, this person's from Portugal. Sometimes they will have a company name, but this one doesn't have a company name. But the other thing is that I actually can get a latitude and longitude. And when I get a latitude and longitude, I can go into Maps at Google, and I can pop it here. And now I've got somewhat of a closer location of what's about where it came from. So this could just be someone's home, or it could be, yeah, this looks like it's a residential. So someone was searching from home. Sometimes I've found out that governments have been looking at my site and other things like that. So, but again, this information is really good information. All right, well, that's well. But I also collect what are called companies. And so all the companies that have hit my site, I collect information on them. So, for example, Adams State University hit my site. I bring them in and put them in here, and I categorize them according to they're in the educational industry. So I can now start to hone my emails out to only educational sites, things like that. Other things that Mautic will do that's actually really good is I can then create segments. And so these are like filters. So, for example, if I want only people who live in the state of Alaska or in Arizona or in California, or if they went to the CFTA conference with me or the Esri conference in 2017, I can put these people in these segments, and then I can create a campaign against this list. Components are also very good. Assets are things like uploads and downloads. And so I have a lot of PDFs in here, a lot of Archibus, and I have a lot of Archibus social media things that I've been doing. You can all download these from my website, and I can track them. And it gives you a download count, so I can actually sort to see what's my highest download. Yeah, my highest one right now is my painted picture, but the second highest one is the educational download from Archibus. My third one is energy management. And then my fourth one is my standard schedule of compensation, which is how much I charge people to do work. So now I've got a little bit of an idea of what people are more interested in. Out of all the things I'm doing, out of all the things I've sent out, education and energy management are the top two right now. Forms are things I have on my website that people can fill out. So, for example, if you go to my website and you take a look at the very, very bottom, I have this form where I can fill it out, and that is tracked in Mautic as well. So I can get their email address, their first name, and their last name. And so I have lots of forms. I have lots of landing pages. So I have specific pages so that when people want to come and take a look, they can pull down these PDFs and also these landing pages that I have. Now this provides something slightly different. Clearly, my unsubscribe is the highest one. Some people don't like the emails in their inbox. That's fine. But now I've got asset management is my highest hitting landing page, and energy management's number 2, and strategic financial analysis is number 3, along with strategic master planning. So I'm starting to see that. So the other thing that I do is what I call campaigns, and these are email campaigns, and so I now have the ability to send strong messages out. So let me hit an educational one. Let's see if I've got one here about education. Yeah, let me do this one. This was a test. I don't think I've ever set this out. Let's go to my launch builder. Let's close the builder. I'm sorry, I don't want to go here. I want to go to forms. Let me come down here to it's channels. I'm sorry, it's channels. So I can create emails, and so let's take a look at the waste management one, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at my builder. And so they give you these opportunities to create these really nice emails sent out. So this is what is sent in the email, and it has hyperlinks. I can put hyperlinks to them. So this takes me to the website. I get little pictures that I put in there, and I try to keep the message very simple. It's like, did you know Archibus could do this? And if they want to find out more, they come to the RSC website. You have to provide an unsubscribe button, so I always do, in case people don't want to see it anymore, and I do that. Any questions about this?
What do you do after? What's your process, your sales process, or how marketing ends up in sales? Do you have this? Let's say that a few people clicked on the waste management, and do you have anyone or yourself immediately give them a call back to see what they need?
I'm not quite to that point yet, but I have had some success. I do have to tell you that I've had 2 universities hit my website, and as I was monitoring them hitting their website, my phone rang, and it was them, and I was able to see that they were popping around on my website. So part of what's happening here, kind of bring the whole circle, is social media isn't just about posting. It's about providing interesting content on your website and in emails that people are interested in seeing and talking about. So once I constantly are working on my webpage, and I'm constantly working on my my Modic content, these emails that are going out, and I'm trying to get it to the point where I'm an attractive place to come. And as I've done the last 10 sessions, this is number 11. As I've done the last 10 sessions, all of it's about tags, hashtags, keywords, images, videos, content on my website, content in my email, and so that I have all of that that's very interesting for the public to want to look at. The other thing is I've done some studies about, I haven't done studies, but I've read studies about what do people want to know. And the number one is price. And so one of my and this has been high, and I'll absolutely tell you, once I put pricing on my website, I've gotten more hits from this than anything else. And I basically just tell them that, I can get you started with this, or this. And here's my standard schedule of compensation. I must have your email address to download this. This is how much I charge. And here's my SaaS offering. And, so this page is really powerful because the tag on it, if you take a look at this, how much does it cost to implement Archibus? Mm-hmm. And so when people are going to Archibus cost, or how much does it cost to install Archibus, my web page comes up. Mm-hmm. So, those are the email campaigns, and it takes a bit of work. Mm-hmm. But I highly recommend it. Stages. So this is kind of along with what you're talking about. I categorize the hit on the website by a stage. Like, is it just a website visit? Are they an expatriate? Are they in the Archibus Business Partner Alliance? Is it my staff? Are they in my CTO group? Have they subscribed to anything from my website, like my newsletters? Is this a lead? Mm-hmm. Is this a qualified lead? Is this a qualified sales lead? Is it an opportunity? And then I also even have evangelists. Like, are they a customer? Are they an evangelist? And the reason why I do this is that I do have lots of people who are already my clients that hit my website for either training videos or other types of pieces of information, and I won't be able to categorize who they are. So it helps me to hone in on the marketing segment. I guess all I can say is that it does take a lot of diligence. It takes a bit of time, and it opened up my eyes to the educational arena. I didn't realize that the educational arena was really hot. I was totally ignorant to it until I did this. I had no idea that the majority of the people that hit my website are from universities, and that was just fascinating to me. So, what else do you want to know about Mautic? I think that's my session for today. That's what I use it for. I highly recommend it. It's free. You can either do it in the cloud. I chose to put it on my own server on a LAMP. So we have this on a LAMP server, and I find it very effective. Questions from anyone?
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Eric, does Archibus do anything?
I believe Archibus is using HubSpot, or they were. I'm not sure what they're using at the moment. One question I had is, does Mautic insert something into your emails that would cause them to get filtered or recognized by, say, an email screening as potential spam or trackable? And does it cause warnings or issues along those lines?
I don't know the answer to that. I suspect maybe. I suspect yes.
It's surely yes. It's surely yes. Otherwise, they won't be able to get this all of these statistics about the people that are responding. All of those utilities embed something in the email.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I think the ones that come back as anonymous might be those who, perhaps like me, elect to dial back what's automatically downloaded in email content. So unless I say show pictures, for example, I don't know. We could experiment. Try hitting your site a few times and see if I show up anonymously or as the.
Sure. I mean, I do know that Archibus hits my website quite often. Not quite sure who, but I do have Archibus. When was the last time Archibus showed up? Yep. 3 days ago, somebody at the Archibus Archibus touched my site. Let's see what you guys. It was just a contact identified, but somebody at Archibus has, in fact, contacted me. Yep. Hit the website for some reason. So, unless the email is submitted, I won't know this. Most of these I put the emails in so I can begin to track it and send emails out. But some people I have identified through social media. So, for example, this individual here is a brand new one. And I have no idea who she is. Let's go take a look. So identified her. Must have hit my website. IBM Watson, so it might be a Tririga competitor. Looks like she followed me on Twitter, or went on our website on Twitter, and therefore we captured. Probably won't do much with this contact, but it was able to be captured and identified. Okay, our next week is our last one. We're going to talk about AdWords and how they work. And I'm going to have Todd do that one next week. So stay tuned.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Any other questions? Any other questions?
Not me.
All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Have a nice weekend.
You too.